video chart presentation of ATHX Inc. ATHX trades on the NASDAQ capital markets under the ticker ATHX. Really bucked the market trend a little bit today. Dow closed down. Here's a play that pushed up 7.4%. Pretty solid support level back here. For several months, it fell through up around $2.50. Formed a new base down around $1.75, $1.80. It looks like it's trying to push again. As to be expected, pretty sharp dive when the price fell through that support. Nice push back towards zero with the histogram though. Bullish cross happening with the MACD. Classic PPO ADX pinch going on. Very nice reversal happening right here. ADX starting to flatten, negative DI, positive DI, making nice rotations. This is where we always talk about start to watch for the trend back towards zero with the PPO, the MACD. Look for some higher lows to be made as the ADX starts trending downward. That gives you a good indication of finding a true bottom if that happens. MFIs, of course, are all turning. The buying pressure that's been coming in, tucked nice and neat together, heading towards 50. Pretty solid baseline in the accumulation distribution. Overall, this is a pretty nice look too. The long-term scheme of things. Selling pressure was clearly dominant, especially back in here about 8-9 months ago. But little by little, it's been weighing itself out, and even with the big drops, it's still making higher lows. So taking money flow is a very nice look as well. CCI trending upward, we'll look for that break of zero. Full stow showing momentum staying in the play. Short term, see that downtrend's been broken. Now holding over top of 50, that's a bullish look. TRIX, of course, is lagging. Followers of our charts know that we talk about this a lot. You're not going to see anything from that because of this sharp drop. The TRIX just moves too slow. Again, though, nice movement in the RSI. Is not getting a huge amount of separation. Starting to trend back towards 50. Indicators are certainly say this is in a pretty good position to try and keep the upward climb going. I would identify a bottom support there around $1.77, which is pretty close to where there's a pretty solid support at $1.80. I'm not sure if this was a fat finger what went on here, if this stock actually dropped all the way to $1 that day. If it did, whoever managed to grab it down there is probably pretty happy since it pulled right back up. But if this does try and slide back at all, I'd have my eye on this $1.77 right up to $1.80. Make sure that's going to hold as a bottom support. You can see if it doesn't hold that, there's nothing in sight for it to help it out in the future. It'll have to identify itself a new support level. So right now, this is really on watch to see if this upward push is going to continue. And that's the bottom level I'd watch for if it wanted to slide back. A little bit of resistance right there around that $2, $2.05 mark. But I'd look for it to start to pick up near 220. See, there actually looks like there's still a hair of a gap from 217 to 218 probably. But I have to zoom in real close to make sure that this wasn't a 217 idea, that it actually is filled. But judging by the resistance line I just drew, it looks like there still is an open area. But closing at 203, that's a pretty nice upside still to it, just to go up and test resistance. And if it breaks through that, it will pick up a little bit through here from a historic standpoint. But I don't really see resistance picking back up until it gets up near 250 or so, which was a support level that fell through right in here in early August. Now you're talking about 25% upside up to resistance. And those are the things we always try and talk about on bottom plays. Find a pretty close support level, try and keep it within 10%. Look for much larger movement until it can meet new resistance levels. It's a relatively low volume play. You can see 69,000 shares traded. But over the last few trading days, you can see it is starting to pick back up a little bit. I'd say today was probably about average for it, but it can put together some greater days. One thing that's always important to note when taking a look at charts. So we'll look for volume to continue to pick up as this tries to make a decision to push towards resistance or slip back towards support. But all in all, a pretty nice looking chart. And as I mentioned, one that managed to go against the Dow today. So we're going to throw this on the watch list and see where it goes from here. As always, this is merely my interpretation of the ATHX chart. Thank you for watching and trade smart.